I've shown you some tips about how to share things with people, but I also want to show you some of the options you have when you share things with those people. I'm just in my drive right now. This works for any type of file that you share with anyone that's in the drive. It even works for other file types that aren't necessarily Google file types. So I'm going to go to this team folder that I have at the top because I know it's shared with a lot of people. I'm going to right click on it and go to my shared options. What it does is it gives you the initial sort of shortcut window that allows you to add other people. And at this point, you can choose whether or not those people can edit or can view things. If you click get the shareable link, it will automatically make this thing available to anybody with the link. This is something you probably want to be cautious of using if you have sensitive things that you might not necessarily want the world to see. However, no matter what, if you're in this window, you can see that there's advanced. If you click on advanced, it gives you the link to share for your collaborators. It also lets you see some more specifics about all the people who are shared on this, as well as invite people just like before. So I'm going to go through each of these different components. First thing, it says specific people can access because I have it shared only with specific people. If I choose to go into share this, I can do public on the web, which means it's searchable, somebody can find it. I can do anyone with the link, which means it's not searchable, but if I send the link with an email, anybody can access it without having to sign into Google. If you are in an organizational account, it also gives you some options to make it public within only your organization, as well as anyone with a link within your organization. Those are things I like to use when I'm doing something for school so that it encourages people to be in that particular account. Right now I have it off because I only want specific people to be able to access it, and so only those accounts work and they have to be signed in to get it. Now, if you look at all the people who are shared on this, you can choose to unshare it with people by just clicking the X. You'll always have to save once you make a change up here. However, it's pretty easy to just X, 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 X. You can also change the rights that they have. So I can change it so that they can only view it instead of edit it. Sometimes people do this when you don't know it. I can also make this person the owner. So the purple finch could be the owner of this folder if I wanted to change ownership. This changes where the size of the file is. For Google files, it doesn't take up any space, so that's not a big deal. But it does matter if an account gets deleted because the owner is the one who is truly owning the document. So if their account gets deleted, the document's gone. If you are sharing a document, you can also choose to have them be able to comment, but that's just in that little drop down in the exact same space. A couple other things you can do when you are sharing is you can invite more people. If you type in somebody's name down here, and you can choose whether or not they can edit, view, or like I said, if you're in a specific file, you can also have comments. You type in their emails and you can choose to notify them. And if you notify them, you can add a message to say, hey, this is the file we talked about. Or you can not notify them depending on how it is that you are communicating with them. One new thing that they've added is that you can prevent editors from changing access and adding new people. This means only you, as the owner, can have people edit things. There's another setting that you can do that's in file types too. So I'm actually going to go into that and show you an example of a file so that you can see those extra details. I'm going to go to advanced. In this case, you can see I can comment. The other thing you can do is if you're in a specific file is you can also disable options for downloading, printing, and copying for commenters or viewers. That means only editors can download, print, and copy. This is a really big deal if you are using the Google Drive to have some material about students or about some other information that you don't want to get out. That way, it makes it a little bit harder for them to take that information and pass it along because they can't copy it, make a copy of that document. They can't download it or print it. And so these are just some of the options that you have. Depending on how you choose to work within your team or collaborate in your team, you might use some of them more than others. But I wanted you to know what they all were.